Uncensored.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the podcast that is all about intellectually immature nonsense.
Are a very particular set of skills.
And by God, this is the BS.
Uncensored.
All right, there it is, episode 9 of the BS Uncensored. Thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey. Hello, handicap hater Nikki D.
I am not a handicap hater, Nikki D, but Nikki D is me.
There's Nelson.
Hello.
The old man tongue licker. A lot of stuff has happened on the radio program this week.
Too much.
In which, by the way, for those of you not in the Sacramento area, you can stream us, thebaileyshow.com or the Odyssey app, or get that podcast in the same places. And you can learn why Nikki dislikes handicapped people so much.
Not true.
And Nelson has this weird old man tongue thing that he does
That is true.
when he's resting 18 plates on his giant belly.
Oh, God.
We just came up with a plan we're going to execute.
You're going to execute Nelson?
Yes.
No, me and Nelson
Oh.
have executed a plan that we're going to stick to because I'm going to make him. We're going to go right after we leave the show and go walk.
Go walk.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that's the answer?
Well, that's where he said he can start. You got to meet people where they're at.
Okay. Well,
So
Is
he
that
can
a fat
start
joke?
with that.
we're,
No,
Because I can't
that's
get
not.
to you. She's got to meet me
No,
where I'm at.
no, that's a real saying.
I hate that shit when people say stuff like that. Or you got to start somewhere. The dude's been here for don't listen.
Okay.
Don't listen.
The dude's fucking been here for like 6 or 7 months. Remember the old Bailey boot camp? And stuff?
Yes.
He's got no grit. He's not gonna put in the man hours. You need to do more. He needs to do a lot more.
I know, but I feel like if we at least start there, since he's saying that's something he's willing to do every day, at least the Monday through Friday when we leave here, then we should at least start somewhere for him.
You at this point, you can't just do the start somewhere. You've got to go all in. You got to go potty or get off the pot. You know?
Well, I can't make him do that.
That's what he'll never do it.
But at least if he's saying he wants to go walk, I can at least say, okay, I'll walk with you. I can do that.
All right, let's get him back. Come back.
Hey,
So we were just talking about your situation,
understood.
and you're going to start walking,
Oh, yeah. Got to start somewhere.
which is good because if you couldn't walk, Nikki wouldn't like you.
Oh, my God. You fed it right to him.
No, I was not trying to feed him anything.
Oh, my God.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
if you get a handicap license plate, that's going to be at his disadvantage because he's not going to be able to walk.
I'm not getting that license plate.
You can
I
just
don't
blame
think
it
I
on
am.
me. Maybe we'll say you're my conservator.
You won't get him his cardio if you're parking that front up at the mall.
No.
Yeah, if you get the disabled veteran plate,
You're an enabler. That's what you are.
a disabler and an enabler.
You're a disabler and an enabler. Absolutely.
A DA.
Or maybe if we continue to have earthquakes like we had this week, ones that actually shake, that old school kind of shaker,
What you imagine when you hear earthquake?
and you just will put Nelson on the fault line, and it'll just shake the fat away.
Shake, shake, shake.
Yeah. So that earthquake was kind of a bust. I mean, I wasn't wanting an earthquake,
But I felt cheated.
but I felt a little like I wanted a little bit of a shake.
I mean, when you get the alert on your phone, it makes you think, oh, this is serious business.
It said
and
extreme.
then nothing.
Yeah. You thought I was crazy too when I brought it up.
I did. I was like, what is he doing? Like, what angle? Because you're always going for an
Yes.
angle. I'm like, what is he getting at with this?
So the app is
I was like, how is he going to tie this back into you?
Exactly.
dating handicapped people?
the app is called My Shake, and every time I see it, because it's come up the last couple days because they're getting ready to do a test drill, which is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, oh, I thought it was a test drill. But every time I look at the app, I think of Shake Shack. And I'm like,
Oh, the
why-
burger place.
Yeah, I was like, why don't I have a Shake Shack app on my? But it's an app for your phone, and it tells you when an earthquake. So we were on the air this week, and an earthquake happened at 9:21 while we were on the air,
Mm-hmm.
and we have never experienced an earthquake before.
Still haven't.
Still have. I come from hurricane country in Florida.
I come from tornadoes.
You come from
Same.
tornado. Well,
Yeah.
in the South, we get tornadoes. We get that in Florida as well.
But I'm in Tornado Alley. Like,
Nelson's in Tornado Alley. But I've only been through one earthquake, minor earthquake, when I was 8 and I was in Alaska.
You felt the shakes?
Yeah, visiting my brother
Ooh.
who was living with his father, follow me, and there was an earthquake. It was wintertime, and I got under the bed. So I felt the earthquake. But it was, I think, a pretty significant earthquake because I remember there was, like, we left the house afterwards and there was, you could see some damage. There was some damage afterwards. So that's the only earthquake I've experienced. And so now in my head, I'm going, okay, well, what if, God forbid, it's only a matter of time, they say out here on this coast, a big one, or we feel some. We're not supposed to feel any in Sacramento. Like, we're too far inland, supposedly. But there's fault lines all over the state. So, like, what happens? They say, get under something heavy. So I made the joke, we'll get under Nelson. But seriously, like, if you're in your house, I've got 5 dogs. I've got my wife and I've got my daughter. Are we all supposed to take a doorway?
Yeah, or I was about to say, you guys split up. Take a dog or two with you to one doorway, a dog or two with you to another one. You can make it work. 3
people, 5 dogs. Somebody's going to have 2 dogs.
Yes. A couple of people are going to have 2 dogs.
You can have 2 dogs. You're the man. You can hold 2 dogs.
2 of them are going to have 2 dogs.
Yeah, do the math.
Him and his wife. Or him
Abacus.
and Ariel. Ariel couldn't do it. But I don't know. Henry seems heavy. When she picked him up when I was over there last time, I was like, goodness.
Henry, Milt, and Fat.
Ugh.
All 3 of them are hefty.
Are heavy?
Yeah.
Well, I know Fat's heavy, but Henry was heavy, especially when Ariel was holding him. So that's what I'm saying. You're probably going to have to carry 3 dogs, and your wife and daughter carry 1 apiece.
Have I ever told you this?
What?
I love when you say Fat.
Why?
Because it's the urban version.
A Fat?
Yeah, see?
How do you say it?
Yeah.
Was that the politically correct way to say that?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
It was like you do the PH. I
Yeah.
do the F.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I'm like, well, how do you say it?
So I go Fat. Now you go.
Fat.
Fat. Yeah.
Hey, Nick, you know that dog? The guy you work with? Fat. He did. Gotta go. Fat. Hey, Fat. So we didn't get anything from the earthquake.
No.
A little bit of a buzzkill. I would think, that we'd go to the nearest flagpole. You remember that when you were a kid?
Yeah, that's because that's where you're supposed to go in a fire drill.
Right. That was the biggest crock of shit that we were fed as kids. They made it believe that it was like freeze tag and the flagpole was base. Like nothing could hurt you. The flagpole was literally 20 feet
From the blaze.
from the school. And if there were a fire, they had not just a few, but the entire fucking school around the flagpole. How that makes sense, I have no idea. I don't even know if they still do that in schools. Like, there had to have been somebody with half a brain say, you know what, maybe we should move people a little bit farther away.
Maybe the soccer field.
Maybe bus them somewhere.
Right.
Because the blaze is going to split out. Did you do that when you were a kid? You go to oh, really?
Mm-mm.
You didn't flagpole it?
No, we didn't go to the flagpole for anything. We went outside for fire drills. That's it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but where did you go in the fire drill?
No, we had like different areas in the grass that we had to congregate, and it was kind of like A, B, C, and that way they can account for this grade of people and that grade of people. We never went to the flagpole.
You flagpoled it.
Yeah, early. Not by the time you got to junior high. They had a better thing figured out by junior high, but grade school certainly.
Yeah, that was it. So now, I don't even think schools probably care if there's a fire. They just care about a school shooter.
I don't know exactly. They do the active shooter drills. Those are the only ones that I know of my daughter does because they email me every time they have one.
After, though, right?
No. They tell us before that they're having them.
See, our school district doesn't do that.
I thought you said they tell us before the school shooter.
Oh,
No, before the drill.
We know Tommy's a problem.
Before the drill.
we don't want to alarm anybody because we want to catch him in the act. But we know tomorrow he's about 8 o'clock. Right. Just expect it. All right? Bring your cans of beans. Bring your door stoppers. Tommy's. We'll get him. Don't worry. We got him. But
one time they did contact us though because there was allegedly going to be a school shooting and there was something that was going around on the internet. So they told us ahead of time, and I kept my daughter home. They did do that.
Yeah. Somebody's saying you're rude. Hold on. What is this?
Saying that I'm rude?
Oh no, I'm sorry, Nelson. Rude. If on the phone long enough, especially the Own Ranger. Come on, Nelson.
You got people calling me the Own Ranger. Now you're going to have people saying I hate handicapped people. Are you trying to ruin my reputation?
No,
the Own Ranger's good thing.
I got to be honest with you. You don't have one here yet.
I do. You're not
you
making
not.
me a good one. You're supposed to make me a good reputation.
No, here's the thing. Is everybody loves a comeback story. So you start off as the heel. Yeah. And then you do something nice. Like you find a kid with one leg, you buy him a leg or something like that. You do a charity, and then people will forgive you.
He's not wrong. Look at how successful The Rock is. I was just in a TikTok wormhole yesterday, a rabbit hole or whatever, watching old Degeneration X stuff, and your buddy, Bubba.
Yeah.
And then it was a shot of The Rock being a total misogynist and a piece of shit to China.
Yeah.
He said, get down on your knees, China. That's where you belong. He's going to kiss her.
The wrestler, not the country.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking, why was he
the
saying
wrestler.
that to China?
China. And now look at him. He was the heel before, and now he's the hero.
Well, those guys, like during the Attitude Era, they did some pretty risque stuff.
Great. There's no way you could get away with that stuff now.
Right, exactly. But that was good TV at the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, I still think it's good TV to watch it. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, they're not held accountable for what they were doing back then.
Right.
Where most people, get canceled because of something they did, a joke that was told or whatever the case may be. So this FBI training stuff I wanted to bring up. So for those that don't know, I'm in this very secret, very high-level FBI training for specific people. Think Men in Black, right?
That anyone can be a part of.
With the FBI. Yeah, anyone with the right criteria.
Pulse.
Right. So every I don't want to say the night, but it's between Monday and Wednesday, I go I go to the FBI headquarters, and I have a special entrance and a special credentials and get in and all that stuff. And then we have this class, and we learn a lot about the FBI. Mm-hmm. And it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Like what you see on TV and what you hear from people about the FBI, like you really, and don't even read on the internet, like try to find somebody in the FBI that will like let you job shadow. This is a phenomenal organization, absolutely phenomenal organization. And so different agents come up and speak to us about different parts of the FBI. Does so much shit, man. There's so much stuff that we'll never even know when they do the things. Mm-hmm. Everything from cybercrime, everything from terrorism, domestic, international, white collar, bank fraud. I mean, you name it, the FBI is on it. Mm-hmm. But we had one of the agents, which I think is the agent that's coming in on the show this week, the radio show. Uh-huh. And, they have a special agent in charge of these different divisions. Mm-hmm. And under that, they have people that work with them. And this agent, and his name escapes me, but he is in charge of civil rights.
Yes, that is who's coming in this week, and I'll tell you his name in 2.5 seconds.
Okay. And he gets up there and he gives a disclaimer. I'm not supposed to go into a lot of details about this class, obviously, because it is super secret and top secret.
Agent
stuff.
Crosby.
Right, Agent Crosby. We call him Agent
CB.
X. Agent
okay.
X5. So it was interesting. He gave us different examples of after reading the statutes, right? Of like, this is the law for this is the law for this is the law for this. And then he gave us questions. It was actually a lot of fun. It was an activity. He goes, okay, if this happens, is it a hate crime? Very simple, yes or no. And what I found very interesting about this whole exercise was there's so much gray
in what's considered a hate crime?
In what's considered some hate crimes.
Oh, okay.
There are black and white, no pun intended, but there are black and white. But like if somebody goes and spray paints a swastika on a venue of for the Jews.
Sure.
Like
a synagogue.
A synagogue, yeah. That would be a hate crime.
Sure.
Because it's interfering with their right to practice religion.
Right.
Right. If they were to leave bacon or a pig's head outside the mosque, that is a gray area. Not so much maybe.
Really?
Because it's not a crime being committed?
Right, because there's no vandalism or something like that.
Wow, that's
no crime
interesting.
being committed.
So a lot of stuff with the vandalism, I mean, obviously if there's violence, So here is that was the one that made the room feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. We have, because the N-word was used in some of the footage, the F-word was used in some of the footage, most of the room was white. I mean, you have your good amount of Hispanic and you have a good amount of African Americans. But us white people get a little nervous when we talk about that kind of stuff. God, yes. And even if we're being serious and it's educational. But then they open it up for questions. And because I'm a standout student, and I'm trying to make
a good impression.
a good impression because I really honestly think when this whole thing is all said and done, they're going to pick the best of the best. Like, I'm going to be Iceman. They're going to pick, and they're going to have me come back
and do what?
And teach at Top Gun.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were thinking they were going to offer you a job.
Notice I didn't say Maverick
Nope, you did not.
because he didn't win.
Right.
Yeah, Iceman won. Anyway, so I ask a lot of questions, but this one was kind of touchy. And I had a question. I forget the question I asked, but I had a question I wanted to ask, and I didn't ask it. So I'm going to ask him Friday when he comes on the radio show.
Do you remember what it is?
I do.
Okay.
I remember what it is.
Make sure you write it down because your memory's going.
And well, no, you know what? I did ask it in an obtuse way.
Okay.
So it was, I was really poorly worded question. It was kind of long winded, but it was like, if you have two people that get into a physical altercation, and during that altercation, there are words exchanged out of anger.
It's good.
Because here's the thing. I'm assuming it's still a thing and it'll be a thing forever. But people, when they get angry, have a tendency to say things that doesn't make them racist. They just say things because they're bad words and they're not supposed to say, and they know that it's going to anger the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, it's been going on for the product of the 80s. You get in a fight, you're the F-bomb. I don't think I've ever called the N-bomb, but you definitely the F one. No. The gay slur was the go-to. I don't hate, doesn't mean I hate gay people.
Nope.
It was just a word terminology. So I that's what my question was like, is that a hate crime if something were to happen to them physically where they were injured, seriously injured, and after the fight started, not before the fight started. Like before the fight, if you come up with somebody and say, hey, I hate F words or I hate N words, and then attack them, without a doubt, hands down, hate crime.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in the heat of the battle and you bump into somebody, spills a drink, gets angry, you start fighting, bam, 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 I'm going to kick your ass, F or N, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a hate crime?
I think it still would be a hate crime.
I think with the N-bomb, it's a hate crime every time.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So here is my question I didn't ask.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What if you have two African American people that are fighting, and that happens, and the N word is used?
How would that be a hate crime?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't think it is.
It's not a hate crime.
Okay, so that's where the gray is. See, that's where it's a case by case basis because you can't say that word is just for.
Oh yeah, you can't make it like illegal to use that word because
exactly, like especially if what if that person is not gay and you use the word?
That was going to be my next question to ask you.
I think it's considered a hate crime if the person is that. Like if this person is gay and you call them the F word, that's what makes it hateful or hate crime. Me saying that to you doesn't matter, Nelson, because that's not what you are.
But either way, that's if he's gay and you call him the slur, he's not that. Who said he's that? He doesn't walk around and say, I'm this. If you're African American and the N-word is used against you or said against you by another race, nobody, I don't think anybody's going to walk around and say, yes, I'm that. So just because you're saying the person's that doesn't mean they're that because of the color of their skin or their sexuality.
No, they're
or
not
the religion that they worship.
No, they're not that. But what makes it a hate crime is your reasoning behind what you're doing to this person that it is illegal. That's what makes it the hate crime. Not saying that they are anything, but that's how you view it.
Yeah, but that's where you can argue it, and that's where
does intent matter?
Right. It's a case by case basis. So I had always thought that if the word was used, no matter what,
it's like bringing a gun to a bank robbery, immediate, larger felony.
Right. Exactly. But that's not the case. There's a lot of gray,
which is very strange
in hate crimes. Because of intent.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to prove it, and you have to remember that it has to be prosecuted. The FBI does not prosecute anyone. The FBI is not the judge and is not a lawyer. They don't do any litigation.
They just help.
They're police, essentially.
They're fact finders.
Sure.
Is what they are. They're fact finders. You see the FBI go in and get boxes of information and pull it out. They're fact finding. It's not like what we see on TV a lot of the times, you know what I mean? So when it comes to something like this, they have to then go to the attorney general and they have to say, hey, here's the case. And there's so many cases out there. They have to pick and choose and go, okay, is this even worth it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So anyway, that was very interesting. You know, the guy, we're only going to have on the radio show about 10, 12 minutes with the guy, but dude, I could go on forever about especially that cat. It was just very, very interesting. And some of the cases, the real cases that they've had.
Are y'all getting any intel on those?
No, well, they brought up, cases that have set precedents.
Okay.
Or past cases that have happened and so on and so forth.
Only cases that have been adjudicated.
Right.
Talk about.
And I'm sitting there going, how can stupidity, evil like that just exist? Why would you hate somebody so much for whatever reason, and then the rest of your life in jail or dead, you embarrass your family, all because of what?
They probably learned it from their family. A lot of people that are hateful like that, they didn't just wake up one day and said, oh, I hate black people. They grew up hearing the people that they're around say those things. So I don't know how embarrassed their families are.
Well, I'm talking about maybe not their family growing up. I'm talking about their family now.
Maybe.
You're like wife,
kids.
Kids are innocent, right? Kids have nothing to do with it. And then you got somebody crazy. So it was very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. The cybercrime stuff is extremely interesting. So I can't wait to get my badge.
I can't wait to see what's next. I can't wait till you start the physical stuff. I want to see how that goes.
So I missed last week when they did push-ups. I was supposed
that's
to do
what they
push-ups.
did?
They did push-ups. They wanted me to be there to do push-ups.
Dang.
And I'm
Me to be there.
well, they did. The gentleman, he was in the studio. He was like, "Where's Bailey?" And I had to stay home because of the leak at the house.
Right. Well, you didn't have to stay home. You just chose to.
No, I had to in case it leaked more.
The Russians.
No, it was fine. It was under control by that time. You were just frazzled and thrown off.
You don't know my emotions.
I know. I know how you are. If one thing goes wrong in your day with your OCD, it throws off your schedule. You're frazzled.
Wow.
It's the truth.
It's funny. You think you're FBI.
No, I don't think I'm the FBI. I'm just telling you.
Because right now, my training's
going
going to say, really? I'm not going to argue or debate. I'm going to let her think she's right.
Draw her in.
But me not arguing makes her question herself.
I don't question myself. I know this for a fact. Known you a long time.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Really?
Learned that in the FBI.
To just say really, that's groundbreaking information to learn.
Really?
And then he gives me the face with it. He tries to look all serious.
It's how you do it. It's not just saying really.
There's a whole...
Yeah, we have to put the face with
Right.
it.
It's the pause. It's the power of silence. It's the question yourself. Really?
Real. You just give Sarah real.
Every time he says it, the look on his face, you gotta see it.
Well, if you're only listening to the audio version of this podcast, you owe it to yourself to
gotta
go
watch the YouTube.
to the YouTube channel.
Which camera? Camera 1, camera 2?
It's be not the fancy one.
Look right into it.
Which one? This one right here?
Nope, the other one.
This one? Really?
Okay.
He did that perfect. Oh God, hold on.
What?
Oh my God.
What is happening?
Fuck.
Did you just throw up?
I can't laugh too hard
What the shit was that?
because it'll make me throw up.
What?
I have to control it.
Oh my God. I thought the really was going to be the little clip I pulled from the show. I guess I just found the teaser clip for Instagram.
Really? What the shit was that, dude? I think she just threw up the dinosaur.
Like I've said on several occasions that I was laughing so hard I felt like I was going to puke, but never like that hard, I guess.
Guess I know why she's getting her license plate. She's not going to get a little person in a wheelchair. She's going to get ones with like little arrows coming out of the mouth. Oh!
Oh my God, you're going to make me gag.
Oh my goodness.
Gagasaurus Rex over here. You know, I'm probably going to have to do some law stuff with the leak in the house.
Why is that?
Yeah, because they lied to me.
But I mean, is it legal? Like you can
Like
do
got it
something
in
to 'em?
writing that something was one way and it's clearly another way.
So here's the thing is, so for those that don't know the story, so when we moved out here to Sacramento, we looked at a couple different houses, and we found this one house. We decided to get it. I'll admit, I shouldn't have jumped the gun. I really shouldn't. Should have rented. I should have, but I did it because I like to be settled. And, thought everything was going to be fine and blah, blah, blah. So it just was like jumped into it, and I was like, because I'm a big fan of buying real estate. Because at some point when you sell it, you make money. Right now is definitely not the time to do that. So I got to wait it out. But anyway, this house, it's cool. It's not my favorite. Definitely does not match up anywhere near my house in Atlanta. Not even fucking close.
No, it's not close.
Not even fucking close, which breaks my heart because I loved that house so much, and it makes me sad. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Anyway, in California and Arizona back in the early 2000s, new builds had this certain type of piping put in from this company called Kitech. And they later found out that it was shit material. So there was this huge lawsuit years ago, and people got paid out. Well, I'm post-lawsuit, way past lawsuit. So there's still houses that exist that have this piping in it.
There.
And any plumber or inspector will tell you it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when it busts, you're SOL. There's no fix for it because they don't make any of the parts.
So you're going to have to replace your entire houses with piping, with new piping.
Yeah, the
Dang.
entire house.
And
Right?
that's expensive, isn't it?
Between $15,000 and $25,000.
Just the piping alone, let alone that you have to crack into the walls. It's not like there's it's not like those old houses where there's slip away spots where you can get behind the walls at.
Will your home insurance pay for it? Or you got to pay it out of pocket?
So I don't know if the home insurance pays for it, and if it does, it would be after the fact.
Right, it's going to have to be, and it's going to have to be after some damages happen.
Yeah, after some damage. So there's a quick fix, and that is I found out you can put on an emergency shutoff if there's moisture that's captured or something out of sorts. You put it on its Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. You get them at Home Depot for like $400 or $500, and it'll shut off the water to the entire house.
Okay.
Which is cool.
Yeah, but how does it know where if one of the pipes bursts in the bathroom upstairs, are there like checkpoints throughout the house that radio back to this thing?
It would be a pressure if the pressure drops.
Okay, so it's a total pressure deal.
Yeah, that's how they'll check. Like plumbers, have you ever seen them check for moisture with that thing? They'll just go to. There's pressure when they get to the pipe. They can see the pressure that's there. There's normal pressure, overpressure, under pressure. So anyway, we're going to do that at the get-go. But I found out that we have this piping, and I specifically told our agent. Like, I don't know what I should and shouldn't say on this, but I specifically told our agent. I said, I'm not buying this house if this plumbing's in there because I'm not paying, $15,000, $20,000 to repipe it. And I know for fuck's sake, these people that are selling the house, they're not going to pay for it. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't either, because they had to hit a certain amount of money in order to sell the house in order to go and do what they have to do. I don't blame them at all for this. Well, maybe a little bit because they said that they didn't know they had it. I don't know. I don't have any proof. I don't know if I believe that because they had so many renovations done, and which would have seen the piping.
Right.
So we had an inspector come out, and he said that there is a sticker, and if there's Kitech in the house, they put a sticker, and this says you have the Kitech plumbing because not every house has it. And so he goes, I couldn't find it. It's like, okay. He goes, but don't take my word. Get an expert to come out. So our agent, very nice lady, she's like, I've got a guy specializes in just finding this plumbing, this pipe. This is what he does for a living. And I can have him come out. So the rub is the plumbers will come out, and if they find it, they'll give you a bid. That's how it's almost, I don't want to say a scam, but it's definitely a thing, right? They want to come out. They'll come out for free just to find the piping.
Right.
And then they'll say, hey,
because they're taking a bet on the fact that it's going to be there and you are going to want to change it out immediately.
Right, because the leak that we had a different plumber come out, and he goes, hey, by the way, did you know? And I said, no, I don't. He goes,
and he found it right away.
Easily.
Yeah.
Like, he literally went up to the attic, pulled up some of because he was looking for any leaks in the piping. He goes, oh, you know, Kitech. I was like, no, I don't. He goes, no, it's plain as day. I don't know how he could miss it. So this other guy didn't do shit.
Allegedly.
No, he didn't do shit.
He didn't if he said they didn't have it and they do.
So I've talked to him twice. The first time I talked to him, he remembered everything. He remembered the house. He remembered not finding it, and everything was fine. And I was very pleasant. I was just asking him questions. I was not pointing any fingers. I'm just trying to find a solution.
Mm-hmm.
And then as things kind of snowballed a little bit, a couple days later, I spoke to him, and he didn't remember anything. Doesn't remember the house. Doesn't remember coming out. Doesn't remember. I mean, like just blatant amnesia.
Whoa. So now he's trying to cover his track.
And so I told him, I go, dude, look, I am a really fucking smart person. And I read people for a living. I said, don't do this. I go, don't, just because you're saying it doesn't mean it exists. Because he literally told me the 2 days prior when I talked to him, or 3 days prior, that we don't give paperwork that says you don't have it unless you have it. Right? So they don't give like a piece of paper that says, hey, we did
Certified
not find Kitech in your house.
Okay.
But if you do have it, they give you a bid.
Okay.
He goes, because we just have too many people to go through. It's pointless. I don't know if that's a loophole or not, but I'm going to find out because I'm going to have to talk to an attorney because I got fucked, right? You'd agree. I got fucked.
Yes, I would agree.
So I got that problem. We got fucking rats.
What's going on with the rats? Are they
Haven't
still
found one
there?
lately. I got my gun though.
I was about to say, have you shot one yet?
No, but I got my BB gun and it is badass. It is cool. CO2, little pistol.
Oh my God.
Looks like a little mini Glock. Badass. I'm waiting to find one.
Okay.
So got the rats, and now and then we got to get rid of these trees. So we've got trees overgrown that are coming on each side from our neighbors. And I like my neighbors. They're nice. They're not Atlanta neighbors, but they're nice. Wouldn't it be if that were your house and your tree was coming over? I know technically it's my responsibility because it's on my lawn, but as a good neighbor, I can tell you right now, me personally, and I've done this before, I've offered to help with the cost. Don't you think that's the right thing to do?
I do. I do think that's the right thing to do.
Okay. Well, I don't think they do.
I ate the cost of cleaning up the whole branch that was out over my neighbor's house.
Yeah, I don't think.
'Cause I just didn't like looking at it and like, oh, what if something comes? We had an ash tree, and I don't know if you guys are familiar, but there's like a bug that's going through, and eventually all the ash trees are going to be gone.
What's an ash tree?
An ash tree?
Ash.
ASH. Yeah, ash
tree.
Yeah, it's an ash tree.
Yeah, like it looks like a butt.
It looks like two butt cheeks right there. Yeah.
What's an ash tree?
An ash tree.
You hear what he's saying?
Yeah, he's saying an ash tree, like an ashtray.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, an asshole.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Well, no, what's an ash tree? Why is it called an ash tree?
It's called. Now I can't tell if you're saying ASS or ASH.
I'm saying ash tree.
Right.
Yeah, what is an ash tree?
It's a fucking tree. I don't know. It's a goddamn tree. And they've got an emerald ash borer.
But why is it called an ash tree?
Because I don't know. It's just what they fucking call it.
But what does it look like?
It looks like a fucking tree.
Is it large?
It's this.
Are they like pine trees?
It's round.
Red oak trees?
It's like I don't know.
Oak tree?
It looks
tea trees.
It looks like cracked surface. Like it doesn't have a defined bark. You know what I mean? The bark is in. It looks like cracks running all up and down.
Like ass cracks.
There you go. Yep.
That's why it's called an ash tree.
Yeah, that's why it's an ash tree.
Are you understanding anything he's saying?
I know that there's an ash tree and he paid for it. That's all I know.
Because the damn branch was out over my neighbor's house, and I was just waiting for this thing to fucking die, and then the branch fall onto their roof.
But you had this problem with your neighbor in Atlanta, too. They don't want to pay for that tree.
The ones in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I offered to pay for, I think I offered to pay for everything.
You did, and that's when he finally responded to you.
Yeah, he did.
I guess he didn't want you to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, but it got taken care of.
Yeah.
Eventually. People are fucking weird when it comes to those trees.
Yeah, man. People are weird about their trees.
Just
for sure.
really, really weird. So, I mean, it's been a very interesting 6 months. I will say the Vegas trip the other weekend was nice. Last weekend was nice. An hour trip to Vegas was good.
Up and down.
Shinedown, Papa Roach, good show. Lost too much money, but it was a nice trip.
Mm-hmm.
Too short. Never thought I'd ever say that. Too short to go to Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. Flying in Friday, out Sunday morning, way too short. You need at least one more day.
Okay.
Because we had no time to do anything.
Yeah.
Because we were so hungover Saturday, zero time to do anything. And we wanted to go to that, old
dome?
No, well, yeah, we wanted to see the Sphere at night. We didn't even do that.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to go to the The old sign graveyard.
Oh, I've always wanted to go there.
That's where we wanted to go. We just didn't have any time with everything that we're doing. So anyway, all right. Well, that's our lives. What are you doing over there? What are you typing
What is
on?
happening?
I have to keep the minutes for this show so that I can know what we talked about. And because this is all over the place, I need to type in what we're talking about while we're talking about it, if you don't mind.
What do you mean all over the place? That's rude.
We're not talking about just one thing. So I want to make sure that do you want to do the summary?
Do I want to do limericks?
Do you want to do summary?
Summary.
Because you can do the summary.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'll do summary.
Okay.
I got earthquakes, FBI. I wrote it down. Civil rights, black people, hatred. Mm-hmm. What's that say?
Can't you read his own damn
You
handwriting?
can't. 'cause
Oh,
it's
that's.
so
I'm sorry.
horrible.
That's why I'm using the wrong sound effect. Then this will be.
Yeah. House, trees, rats, piping, legal. Did you get earthquake?
I got that, yes.
Okay, earthquakes. Mm-hmm. Nelson,
I got that.
handicaps.
No, I'm not putting that in there.
Just hashtag all the words. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Has anyone
How
ever
you
taught
do
you
a
how to
summary?
SEO market?
That's how they do that. That's how the kids do it now.
It's all hashtags.
It's all about the hashtags.
Hashtags and retweets.
Our he doesn't listen to this. I can say this. Our boss, God, when we first got here, the dude flips his shit about he knows nothing about social media, and he's just like, guys, what the fuck, man, about hashtags? It's all about the hashtags.
Count the hashtags.
It's all about the hashtags. Why are we not fucking hashtagging everything? You hashtag, then the client sees the hashtag. If you hashtag something, everybody hashtags. And I'm like, I've never in my entire life in America heard the word hashtag so much in such a short period of time. Hashtags and hashtags.
Hashtags and hash brown.
That's all I could think of was it's smothered and covered.
Smothered and covered.
Hashtag smothered
Hot
and
and
covered.
scattered.
Hot and scattered. All right. We're going to finish this up. We're done for today. You got anything? You throw me off when you type and you're not looking at me.
Well, I have to multitask. I'm sorry. I have multiple roles. I have to do multiple things.
It's a diet.
Do what?
Diet.
No.
So his problem. He's got multiple roles.
He's going to. Oh, man. Never mind.
What?
I was about to say something, and I didn't realize you were cracking a joke.
Oh.
It's fine.
Do you know what else is cracking?
What?
Ashtrays.
It's taking all my things.
No. This is all I'm saying. Really?
I don't
Did
look.
I do the face?
You look ugly.
You look ugly. What do you
No.
think you look like?
No, I
Wait
look.
till you watch that video back.
I look distinguished. Really?
That's the.
You look like you just put your nose up into an asshole. You were like,
Really?
yeah.
Really?
No, that's my gimmick. You can't do it.
I'm not trying to do
You
it.
got to be smoldering.
I know how to smize.
Really? That's how you do it.
You watch too much Jumanji.
Jumanji. That's a hate crime, right?
That's where he does the smolder.
She goes and beats up somebody of that religion, and she starts screaming Jumanji.
Right. Can't believe you.
Oh my goodness. That's the name of the movie.
It's Jumanji, not Jumanji. What was the other?
She said Jumanji too. It's Jumanji.
Was it the other day the
Oh no! Don't.
Jujitsu?
We're not talking about that
Jiu-jitsu.
anymore. It's
Jujitsu.
over.
What's all this Jew stuff with you?
Jiu-jitsu. In her defense, she couldn't even get the Jew part out of that. She was just jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu.
You guys see that new Nissan? The Jiu-Jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu.
All right, Nelson.
I would never call you ugly. You mean
Thank
the world?
you.
You mean the world to me? What are we doing for lunch?
I'm
I
not
didn't
getting
say
no lunch
you
today.
were. I didn't say you were ugly.
Oh,
He said my really was ugly.
Yeah, you're really ugly.
okay.
Yeah. You are
Could
not
never be.
ugly.
I could never be.
You're very, very beautiful,
Thank you. You guys are full of compliments today.
except for that one part of your life,
Yeah.
the really part.
Oh, yeah.
You just got to fix that, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, and your hate for the handicap.
Like Nelson.
Nelson, how you give me a compliment and then say that? That's not true.
I'm just.
and
saying
I didn't
the
even
truth.
bust you out about looking at my boobs earlier.
What?
I did.
Goodness
She walked over here to
gracious.
say something to me.
That's like checking out your sister.
I know. I felt very uncomfortable after
You
I did it.
fucking incest
I am-
Epstein freak.
I immediately. It's very on brand, though, isn't it? According to Nikki, I'm in the bitches that look like my sister.
And I don't look like her.
No, you don't. She came over to say something to me. I looked at her and I realized it was only half a beat, but I realized I focused on one of them big old titties. And then I looked her in the eyes, and then I felt uncomfortable, and I couldn't tell if she saw it. So I said afterwards, like after she got done talking, I said, "I'm so sorry, but I was just staring at your tits when you walked over."
All right. Can I make a confession? When I was just talking to you, I was looking at one of your big old titties.
Yeah.
Too much.
All right, give us a like, share, follow on social media. Listen to the BS. YouTube, you can get this podcast and all the rest of them, the stuff from the radio show as well, at The Bailey Show. Keep in touch with us. We always appreciate the support. Have yourself a great, safe rest of your week, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday when we release another episode of the BS Uncensored. Bye!
Get off my lawn! It's old man Kevin, and the BS is done for right now.
Please share, like, and support.
TheBaileyShow.com.
Now, get out of here.